Welcome everyone to another episode of the Camper Report. Uh, Today I'm just hanging out. For 40 minutes. I don't know. Call in whatever you would like to do. Um, the topic of today is talking about the Broncos because uh they had a pretty abysmal offensive performance against the Colts. It was bad. I mean, I watched the highlights over again. I watched some of that game, and it was not fun to watch that offense. So we're breaking it down, and then we're gonna get into some game picks. You guys can join me on stream. Link in the description. If you want to call in with your phones, if that's easier, then I will put up my number. That will be up on the screen as well. So 970. So that is my number if you guys want to call in that way or calling in. So basically what we're going to talk about today is the Broncos. I'll start off. I mean, I think the question of today is the collapse, like have they collapsed? Is it time to throw in the season? I don't think it's time to throw in the season, but they don't have the easy. They play the AFC West. They don't have the easiest schedule. I can name it out to you guys right now. So they have Chargers next week. That's pretty hard. I mean, Chargers won against. Let me see. So, I mean, Chargers started off a little bit rough in the season. They didn't look too good, but I mean, the Chargers haven't been too healthy all season. I mean, they've been missing JC Jackson, guys like that. They beat the Texans. And they have a chance to get back on track against the Browns tomorrow. So again, I think the Broncos, they play the Chargers next week, and then they play the Jets, and then they play the Jaguars, Titans, Raiders, Panthers. So that's pretty easy. But then they play Ravens, Chiefs, Rams is on that schedule. They have the Chiefs twice, Chargers twice, Raiders one more time. And it's like this defense is really pretty good for them. Now, considering the Colts, you have to put some context in this. And one of the things is that the Colts they didn't have Jonathan Taylor. That's huge. Even though Jonathan Taylor hasn't been having the greatest of years this year, but they didn't have Jonathan Taylor. And if you look at what Matt Ryan was doing, he's not the same quarterback he was. He's definitely, I mean, you can see he's aged even from last year. I mean, he's really just not great anymore. I mean, his passes don't have as much zip on them. His arm strength's definitely declined. He was making mistakes. Both quarterbacks threw 2 picks. The Broncos defensive line was really good. Then again, the Colts offensive line has not been very good this year. So I think, again, Russell Wilson in Seattle. Now, I think, is this a decline of Russell Wilson or bad coaching? I think it's both, because Russell Wilson in Seattle, I think the system in Denver is a little bit different than it was in Seattle. I think Seattle, the last few years, they just said, our team's pretty bad, but we're going to give you the ball and make something happen. And again, the last year that he was there in Seattle, it really wasn't working, but everyone was like, everyone had the excuse of, oh, he had a broken finger, right? So he definitely has declined this year, but definitely the system that he is playing in doesn't let him scrambling out of the pocket. It definitely is different to what Pete Carroll had in Seattle. They definitely don't let him go off script is what I saw as much. They're definitely converting him into a little bit of a pocket quarterback, which could be that he just has lost a little bit of juice in his legs. But I don't think that's the truth. I think it's a little bit of the system that he's in, because you saw against the 49ers, he can still scramble. He can still make plays. So, and that's bad on the coach. You know, if you're going to make a guy who his strength is being a scrambling quarterback and getting out of the pocket, working his magic, if you're going to, I mean, they put him in the pocket. They play actions, not play action, but he was in the pocket a lot. He was not scrambling out much. They didn't do any bootlegs. They really didn't let him work. So I don't know. I think that's just the coaching. I think Nathaniel Hackett, they need to figure something out. And I mean, I want to say, if you guys want to call in, do you think Nathaniel Hackett is out by the end of the year? It's not looking too good. His offense is abysmal. And the thing that surprises me the most is that he was an offensive coach in Green Bay. And so he's supposed to be a genius at this stuff. And so I don't know what happened. I really don't. I don't know. Maybe he's just not a good coach. He's definitely not. And again, it hurts that they're not going to be missing Javonte Williams this year for the rest of the year. That's going to kill him. It really is. Because he was a good running back. And so hopefully they can figure something out. I do think probably a month and a half ago, I asked not Payo Time. I asked, what's his name? Bolter? Was it, why am I forgetting his name? I should be remembering this because I had him on my show. Nick Bolter. I asked him, is Russell Wilson the same guy? And he said, no, he's not. And I do believe, I kind of tend to agree with him because you definitely see, like yesterday, and we can blame the coaching all we want for these losses. And yes, part of it is the coaching. But yesterday, you look and everyone wants to point to that last play where it was 4th down and 1. Now, I think they should have kicked the field goal and said, the Colts were not doing much on offense all game long. Kick the field goal and let your defense, Squabo says, why did I, aka Nick Bolter. Yeah, I don't know why did I forget his name? Anyways, on the 4th and 1, I would have kicked that field goal. Instead, they go for it. I would have kicked it because your defense was getting after Matt Ryan all game long. I mean, I can pull up right now how many sacks they had. They had 3.5, 5. They had 5 sacks. Pretty good. I didn't really trust. I mean, that Colts offense was pretty bad the whole game too. So I don't know why they didn't kick the field goal. But on that 4th and 1 play, you see that crosser that the other receiver was running. He was open. And so Russell Wilson missed him, and then he scrambled out and tried to do that sidearm throw, and it was just off. It was actually a pretty good throw. But if you look back at it, he definitely does miss some reads. And it's not great. And it's gonna hurt him, and he definitely is holding the ball. And so, but he did that. I feel like he did that in Seattle. He was just so good at scrambling and making things happen that it didn't really matter. But now that the offensive line, I mean, they didn't now that the offensive line is pretty bad in Denver. I mean, it's not. They didn't really. Everyone was saying before the season, this is a better Denver team than Seattle. In a way, yes. But the offensive line, they really didn't improve much there. This offensive line is not that good for Denver. Really isn't. So, since he has lost a little bit of juice, he definitely holds the ball a little bit longer. He doesn't trust his reads. That's going to lead to a lot of sacks. And since he doesn't scramble he can't scramble as effectively, that's going to lead to people just not getting open and him just holding the ball. And yeah, so it's not great. And he had 2 picks, didn't play great. Both quarterbacks really didn't do that good. The Colts definitely made, and that's another thing. Is Frank Reich out for the Colts as well after this year? Because first he goes after Carson Wentz, he kind of screws it up. And then he tries to go after Matt Ryan. He goes after Matt Ryan, gets him, and he kind of screws it up. For the Colts, on the other side, this kind of seems like a Phillip Rivers 2.0, except this team is worse because Phillip Rivers came in there, let him do a playoff game, and then lost. And he wasn't that great. But Phillip Rivers, I think, was better than Matt Ryan is now. I mean, that was not good. I mean, again, they're third, they are the Broncos, going back to the Broncos, their offense is a terrible 3rd down team. they're also they are the worst red zone teams. But as far as third down goes, they average the third worst at averaging yards on third down for 7.9 yards on third down averaging. And again, their offense played bad against a Colts defense who it's not that good. It's ranked points allowed for the Colts defense 94th, points allowed for the Colts defense. They've allowed 94 points, and it's tied for 17th in the league. So it's a very mid defense. The defensive line has kind of been underperforming. So, yeah, there's not a lot now with the Javonte Williams being out. There's not a lot that you could say, oh, hey, this team's actually pretty good. The defense is good, but the offense is abysmal. They have some things to figure out. The quarterback has some things to figure out, and the coach, because both guys are I don't know, man. You have Russell Wilson holding the ball too long, maybe more than he should, and making a few mistakes. And then that offense isn't very creative. And I mean, they're targeting Courtland Sutton a ton per game. It kind of reminds me of the Rams, what they're doing with Cooper Kupp. Basically that whole offense is built around Courtland Sutton. Same with the Rams. The whole offense is built around Cooper Kupp. So they have some things to figure out. That's what I got to say on that. But let's get to the game picks. I'll share the screen right now. Feel free if anybody wants to call in or whatever. Feel free. Call in with my phone number. Call in with the link in the description, StreamYard link. So, but let's share the screen on some of these game picks. I might not go live every week on. I might not go live every week on Saturday, but I'm trying to go live every week on Wednesday. This Wednesday, I'll have my brother on. We'll be talking some football. That's always a really fun time because we know each other. We talk twice a week on the phone, a lot of football. We know each other very well. And so that should be a lot of fun. So tune in for that. Wednesday night, I'll be on with my brother. And so, I probably won't be going live I probably won't be going live every time on Saturday, but definitely I'll try to have. I couldn't get a guest figure out this week on Saturday, but I'll try to have a guest every Wednesdays and Saturdays, or just if I can't do it on Wednesday, Saturday. So the 2 days to expect me are Wednesdays and Saturdays. If I don't go on Wednesdays, I'm probably going on Saturdays. So that should help you guys. So let's get to the game picks a little bit. This is Pigskin Pick'em for ESPN. I haven't done this a whole ton this year. But first up, we got the Giants versus the Green Bay Packers. Fun fact, you guys probably already know this. The Green Bay Packers are the last team to play in London. And also another fun fact is this is the first time that two teams that have a winning record have played in London. I think this is a no-brainer. I think the Green Bay Packers offense hasn't been great, and they almost lost to Bailey Zappi and the Patriots, but I am going to pick Green Bay. I don't have a lot of faith in the Giants. Jones, I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to go fast with these picks. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is going to work his magic, I feel like. But let's say pick him. Yep, he says Grandizer, pick him. I want to get. Hold on. Hey Ben, how is your day going? How was your cross country yesterday? Practice was good. I had a meet today. We actually, as a team, we actually won there was a meet with I think 12 teams, and as a team in whole, we actually won the whole meet. We were first place as a team. So we scored first place. I didn't do too good individually, but as a team, we did really good. So next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Again, I think Josh Allen, what they did to the Ravens, corralling the Ravens last week, I mean, really shutting down Mark Andrews was impressive. Kenny Pickett, the switch to Kenny Pickett, I think will benefit this Steelers team, but I just don't think they have the horsepower. Now, it is a little crazy. Like, I've brought this up many times, but the Buffalo Bills freaking throw the ball like all the time. And I think eventually some team's going to catch on, but I just don't think the Steelers have the offensive power to keep up with Josh Allen. And I just don't. I mean, I think the Bills defense is really good. I don't see the Steelers even giving. I think this is going to be a blowout win for the Buffalo Bills. And then Chargers versus Cleveland Browns. The Browns lost to the Falcons last week. I think the Chargers are finally actually getting healthy. They haven't really. I mean, Justin Herbert still is injured, dealing with some ribs, playing through that. Keenan Allen, I believe I can look actually. Let me look if Keenan Allen's coming back. Let's see here. Keenan Allen is out for this week. So no Keenan Allen. They definitely have quite a bit of injuries, but they were able to get back on track versus the Texans. I think the Browns. Ooh, this is close because I do think the Browns could pull an upset. It's I believe at Browns this week. I believe it's at the Browns. Let me see. I'm looking up. Yeah, I don't know because that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one for sure. Let's see, Chargers versus Browns. Yeah, so it's at the Browns. I mean, Jacoby Brissett hasn't been playing terrible. They do have a really. I mean, this is going to be a clash of the two running backs, Nick Chubb and what's his name, and Austin Eckler. So that should be exciting. Wow. I think the Chargers get this done. I think Joey Bosa could cause some mayhem, but if the Browns can run the ball effectively, yeah, I mean Nick Chubb's been playing really well this season. Minnesota Vikings versus Chicago Bears. 2-2 Chicago. Wow. I mean, and 3-1 Minnesota Vikings. The thing with the Minnesota Vikings, and this is what I'll say about them, is none of the games that they've won, it's been impressive. Like, they barely won. I was watching that Saints game last week. I thought the Saints were going to win. And I mean, the Vikings barely won last week. They've been squeaking out wins. I could see this going Chicago Bears. I really could. This team is pretty bad for Chicago, but I mean, their run game hasn't been bad. I mean, David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, Justin Fields could make something happen. It's just like, if you make this, because Minnesota Vikings definitely can be one-dimensional, their team. I mean, Dalvin Cook hasn't been playing that good this year. And they target Justin Jefferson all the time. You make that team one-dimensional, this could be, I think, a Bears win. I am going to pick the Bears as my upset because make this team one-dimensional. They really haven't squeaked out. It's a divisional game. They really haven't squeaked out any like impressive wins this year. I don't know, man. I mean, they've lost to the Eagles. They lost pretty badly to the Eagles. I just don't think they're gonna get this one done. Next up, you got the Lions versus the Patriots. Probably Bailey Zappi. That should be interesting, but let me know what you guys think. Let's see. Let's get to Grandizer in the chat. Is Mitch Trubisky done career-wise? Ooh, that's a good question. I think he's still going to be a backup. I think I think he was put in a situation he didn't have too much talent. I think he still is a decent backup. I think like on a team like the 49ers, you put a lot of talent around him, he could actually be decent. So I think he's going to still be a backup, but yeah, as far as starter goes, I think yeah. I would say so. And you have to start the kid. I mean, at this point in the season, I don't think the Steelers are really expecting to make the playoffs. I mean, if you look at all the teams, I mean, you have Chargers, Chiefs, Dolphins are in there, Bills are in there. You have, I guess, the Patriots. I mean, well, no, not really. Patriots 1-3. That's not great. But I just think there's too many teams in the AFC to really consider the Steelers as an actual team that could contend. Let's see. You've got the Jaguars, who are better than the Steelers. You've got let's see, who else? Um, you've got Chargers. I mean, that's how many did I name? I got Chargers, Chiefs, um, Bills, Dolphins. Which I mean, Dolphins might be out. Well, it depends how long Tua is out, but the Dolphins for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got Jaguars. Yeah, so that's 5 teams that I've named. And then you've got I'm trying to look here. I'm having the big Bengals. Oh yeah, Bengals, Ravens, that's 7 teams already. And then I mean, how much do you trust the Steelers to beat a team like the Cleveland Browns? Like I don't trust the Steelers to beat a team like the Cleveland Browns, who are going to be getting Deshaun back week 11. The Cleveland Browns honestly haven't played terrible. Falcons kicked them dogs hard. Yeah, talking about the Cleveland Browns. Struck dogs bark exceptionally struck dogs. Oh, sorry. Falcons kicked them dogs hard. Struck dogs bark exceptional. I don't know what. Kareem Hunt too. Yeah. Vikings win. They got to what? They got to Skull stands for oh, wait, what? Skull stands for keep on losing. Okay. I want the Lions to win, but their defense is quite bad, so Pats have to keep this game close for the win. Yeah, their defense is terrible. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson has been having a pretty good year, but wow, their defense is pretty bad. I think their offense, I mean, their offense is pretty good. And honestly, like, this might be a hot take, but I don't think it's that much of a hot take. I think that the Lions offense has more talent than the Rams offense. Now, I don't think that's actually a hot take at all, because you think about it. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have Josh Reynolds. They have Jamal Williams, who, yes, he's the number 2 running back, but definitely number 1 material, can carry teams. I mean, wow, he's good. And then they have a really talented running back in DeAndre Swift when healthy. So yeah, I think they have a talented, more talented offense than the Rams do. That's a little bit of a hot take, but whatever. I'm going to say, I don't know, because the Patriots offense really hasn't been that good this year. I'm going to say Lions will get this one. I don't really, I think Lions get this one, even though because of the bad offense, whatever, but the Patriots offense is really not that good. Saints versus Seahawks. I believe that not Taysom Hill. Jameis Winston's out, but what's his name? Andy Dalton is in, and he actually played pretty good. Seahawks, I mean, who would have thought, like, they could be an 89 team with hold on, what's his name? His name, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually forgetting this. His name is wow, I cannot believe I forgot this. Who is the Seahawks quarterback? Wow, this is embarrassing. Who the heck is their quarterback? This is really embarrassing. Geno Smith. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe I actually just forgot that. Geno Smith looking better. Like, he's not bad. Their offense isn't bad. Like, now their defense is pretty bad, but I'm going to say Saints here just because their defense is good. They just need to get a little bit of rhythm on the offensive end. But here's the thing. Are they getting Michael Thomas back? That's something that that is a big question. I believe they are. If they're, I mean, they have talent. If they can get that offense flowing, they actually have quite a bit of talent. Um, Again, Alvin Kamara has not had done that good this year, but other than okay, Michael Thomas is out, so I mean, I think if they can get that, if they can get that offense going, they do have some talent. Chris Olave did pretty good last week. You have again Alvin Kamara. So if they can get it flowing, I think they can beat this Seahawks team. But it's going to be very close. Dolphins versus Jets. The only reason why I would say the Jets here is just because probably no Tua. Definitely not no Tua. Do not think I think he's already ruled out. So no Tua. Um Zach Wilson did play good in his debut. I mean, he he was pretty Zach Wilson played good. Let me just say that. So that's the only thing going for them, I guess. But other than that, I don't know. I'm quickly looking at the Jets' schedule. I mean, they beat the Steelers last week, which barely beat the Steelers. But I mean, Zach Wilson debut 18 for 36, 252 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. Not great. Wow. I mean, do you really trust the Dolphins with? I mean, Tyreek Hill's production is definitely going to go down quite a bit. Do you trust the Dolphins with? Chat, let me know what you think because I'm actually I think they could pull an upset. It is in New York. Defense, Seattle plays well in a dome. I don't want to, but we'll go with them. They upset. Yeah, I could see that happening. You're behind in the chat. Yeah, I know. Let's see. I got that one. I want the Lions to win, but their defense is quite bad. Hey, again, guys, if you guys want to call in, link is in the description. We can talk about anything you guys want to. I do not care. Let's see here. Let's take some more comments. Seattle beat the Lions. They can score points. They're playing like a team that is not wanting to rebuild. Yeah, if they go 8-9, I would seriously consider Pete Carroll for the coach of the year. I think he is. Again, this was a prove it year, and the thing is I thought so. This was a prove it year for both the Broncos and the Seahawks. How well do Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll do? Like, how well do they perform without each other? And I was thinking at the time, I was thinking Russell Wilson is going to perform better than Pete Carroll. I was thinking Pete Carroll made a mistake by letting him go. I really did think so. But now it's looking like Pete Carroll is actually doing better without him, and he didn't make a mistake. And that was a well thought of plan. Okay, we're going to let Russell Wilson back, and we're going to see what we have. And honestly, it's working out better than I expected. For sure. I think this is a lot better. Like this is a pretty good Seattle team. We did not expect it to be, but it is. So yeah. Again, if you don't lead your team to the playoffs, I don't think you can be considered for the coach of the year, but yeah, I would like to see it. That would be cool. Dolphins have done a lot of injuries. I predicted the Jets 22-19. Yeah, could be. I'm going to go Jets. Let's do another upset. Let's make it interesting. Teddy Dogwater. Yeah, I don't trust him. Upset. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat are saying upset. I'm going to go with Jets here. I don't know. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's not great. I don't know. The offense, we'll see how they move the ball. Atlanta Falcons versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a no-brainer. Tampa Bay, absolutely. I think they're going to beat up on Mariota. They have to get back on track after getting manhandled, like freaking manhandled by the Chiefs. Have to get on track. I think they will. I think you have to win this game. You're 2-2. And it's funny that Falcons right now are 2-2 as well. But realistically, I think like, they have Mike Evans back. They have Chris Godwin back. There's just too much talent on that team to where, like, yes, they've been underperforming majorly. And they can run the ball. It's just, no. Talent is there. I don't, yeah. Ben said Teddy Dogwater. LOL. Yeah. Well, I was reading back your comment. Let's see. So next one, Titans versus Commanders. 88% of people have picked the Titans. Commanders lost to the Cowboys last week. I mean, 1-3. Tennessee Titans 2-2. Let me quickly look up. Tell me who you guys think will win that game. Let me just look up, I guess, who the Commanders have played, because so they lost to the Cowboys last week. They lost to the Eagles. Those are two pretty good teams. They lost to the Lions. They lost to wow. They actually beat the Jaguars week 1. That's kind of crazy. They've lost 3 straight. Who have the Titans played? Let's see here. They beat the Raiders, got manhandled by the Bills, lost to the Giants, beat the Cardinals. I mean, if they can run behind Derrick Henry, that team isn't that good, but I think with the division, I mean, it's turning out that this year, like, I didn't actually expect the NFC East to be a dogfight. I mean, AFC East to be a no, wait, is it AFC South? Yeah, no, sorry. I didn't expect the AFC South to be a dogfight, but it's turning out like it is. I mean, you've got the Titans, Jaguars, and, Colts. They're bad, but Titans and Jaguars, like, who would have thought? Like, when people were saying, "Oh, I expect the Jaguars to go 8-9," I was like, "What?" But if you look at the talent on that team, it's not crazy. Um, what game do you think will be a bigger challenge, Carolina or Atlanta? Ooh, I'm gonna say Carolina. I think they actually have a pretty good running back. Again, Atlanta. This is another reason why I'm picking Buccaneers. Atlanta is now missing Cordell Patterson, so that's not good for fantasy owners and for the Falcons. Yeah, I'm gonna go Carolina. I think this is more of a trap game just because we just came off of a big win against the Rams. We're confident. It's in Carolina. We're a little bit tired. It's a short week. So I think definitely trap game gives me the trap game vibes for sure. And I just think they have more talent. They have a good edge rusher that will give us problems in what's his name? Oh, I have it in my notes actually. What's Brian Burns. So they actually have some talent. They have CMC. I think both offenses are absolutely going to be shut down by this 49ers defense. I just think that Baker Mayfield hasn't been playing great. Matt Rule on the edge of firing. He hasn't really looked good at all. Yeah, I think it's Titans all day. Yeah, I think the Panthers are going to be a little bit harder, but for sure, I would say Titans. I mean Panthers over Atlanta. And is that Atlanta game, chat tell well, I can look it up, but is that Atlanta game against the 49ers, is that it no, it's at Atlanta. That's tough though. I mean, I could see why Atlanta could be a harder team because now you're going back-to-back road games and you're going and basically you're staying at a facility. You're not traveling home after that Panthers game. So I could definitely see how that could be. I just think the talent's not really there for the Falcons. But I think both wins will not be convincing because the 49ers, they always have to keep something close. So Bryant Culp is saying Titans as well. Yeah, I'm going Titans. Jaguars versus Houston Texans. Houston Texans are like one of the only still winless teams. Derek Brown, the winless teams. Jaguars have actually looked surprisingly good. I think this could be a lot closer than people assume, and I think the Texans could give them problems. But the Jaguars didn't look bad against the Eagles in that first half last week. So I'm going to go Jaguars. Derek Brown, the run stuffer, good LBs, and Frank Louvu. Yep. He is good. Rookie Brandon Smith, plus they got a very good secondary. If you want a more in-depth view of keys to the Panthers versus 49ers game, I'm going to, you can go look back at 49er Minded and I's video that we did with each other, where we collabed. And that was fun. But as well, I'll also be posting a clip tonight after this stream of basically just a clip off of that stream of keys to the 49ers versus Panthers game. So if you want a more in-depth view, for sure, go look at that. But I agree with you, Grandizer. Frankie Louvu, very good. And then you have JC Horn. I'm going to be interested to see him and Deebo Samuel go at it. That defense isn't bad. It's not bad. And I'm a little bit hesitant on this offensive line. I think it's going to be close. I really do. But I think the defense is just too good. And I think like Baker Mayfield, if we can get like at least 2 takeaways in this game, which I think will be pretty easy, you can't run the ball the whole game. So I think Matt Rule is one of the worst coaches in the league. It's at Atlanta. He said, yep. Jags all day. Kitty goes meow. Let's go. Yeah, Kitty goes meow. Tom Grossi. Where is the vid? The full stream is, so if you scroll down, I believe it's so we have the live right now. And then we have honest assessment of Jimmy Garoppolo's performance against Rams. And then let's get it. Basically, the name of it is Let's Get 49er Minded. Talanoa Funga is a beast. And then you basically go to the end of that stream and keys to the 49ers versus Broncos. But I will be, after this stream, be posting a clip, or I'll be cutting the keys to the 49ers versus Panthers game out, and I'll be putting it as its separate video. Panthers' woes at QB is beyond bad. Yes. Yeah. We thought that Baker Mayfield would be the answer, but he really isn't. Will Kyle go back to a running back by committee? No. I think Kyle's going back into his mode of what he did last year. It just seems too similar. I think they can win like how they did last year. Here's the thing. I think you have, like, last year was great, but you have to add a little bit of a wrinkle to your system. Sorry, guys. Last year was Deebo Samuel was the wrinkle at running back. This year, I think it's going to be Brandon Ayuk. You have to, like, they gave it to him in 2020 when Deebo Samuel was out a lot. They gave it to him in the flat, Brandon Ayuk. And he actually did decent. He did decent, Brandon Ayuk. And they never went back to that system. And it worked. And they never went back. So I think you have to add a wrinkle to that running game. I think it's Brandon Ayuk. You have to get him more involved. Too much of a playmaker. It has to be Brandon Ayuk. But no, I don't think so. I think Elijah Mitchell, I think as long as I think they can win games by just using what's his name, Jeff Wilson, like they did with Elijah Mitchell, and it's not a good way, but I don't think he will. I don't think so. Hopefully it's not one-dimensional though. Oh good, I will check it out. Okay, that's what for the video. Do you think Ray have fumbling issues? Yes. He needs to fix that because that was scary. I mean, especially on that punt where I believe what was it in the fourth quarter? Anyways, it was some punt. I think he fumbled twice on a punt, but one in particular, I can't actually remember where it was, but he fumbles and it literally bounces to like there were all 49ers players around him. And I think a Rams player punched it out, but 49ers players were able to land on it, whatever. And he was fortunate to get it back. But it's like, how many times are you going to get lucky with that? Like, how many actual times are you going to actually get lucky with that? And it's just like, yes, he absolutely does have fumbling issues and he needs to fix them. So yeah, if you guys again want to call in, feel free to use this link in the description. It should say below StreamYard, well, link to call in or whatever, and then it'll have that StreamYard link, and then there's my number right there if you want to call my number. And I'll put you on the mic and stuff. So let's go to the next game, 49ers versus Panthers. I'm gonna say 49ers. 94% agree with me. Wow, that's crazy. I think it's going to be close. I think we're going to let him hang around, but I think this is a team that makes a lot of mistakes. They're going to give up interceptions. I think Kyle isn't going, I think Kyle needs to change his offense eventually. I think he needs to add another wrinkle to it eventually, like I was saying to Brian Culp. But I don't think this is the game that he does it because he still hasn't learned his lesson. And he can still do what he's been doing. He can still do what he did against the Rams, against the Falcons and Panthers, because they don't have good teams, and he can get away with it. He can get away with the way he's been calling these games. But 30-10, sorry. So I'll get to your question in a minute, Brian Cole. But I do think that once he gets to the Chiefs, he's going to have to change. And that's where he might not adjust, man. He might not adjust. Okay, so let's see here. Cowboys versus Rams. Initially, I thought the Rams... Oh, okay, let's get to your question, actually. Bryant Culp, 30-10 Niners win. I agree. I think it's going to be slightly closer. I don't think our offense is capable of scoring that much. I just don't have a lot of faith in it. But I will say, I'm going to say 24-14. Slightly closer than you. But let's get to the Cowboys versus Rams. At first, I thought the Rams were going to win this. But now that I look at it more, Cowboys defense is really good. The offense, Cooper Rush is surprisingly good. They haven't been terrible offensively. Their defense is really good. Micah Parsons. Something's not right with Matthew Stafford. I think they're going to get to Matthew Stafford like they have to every quarterback. Again, they've been good. Their defensive line has been good. Micah Parsons has been a beast. We've seen that if you can get to Matthew Stafford, you don't have to have a freaking good offense. You just have to have a good defense that forces Matthew Stafford to make mistakes. And that's what the 49ers did. They didn't even have that good offense. They just forced him to make mistakes. Cowboys, let's see, their last game, how many sacks did they have? 2. Okay. Well, they've been getting pressure. That defense is like top 5 right now in the league. I just think if you force him to make mistakes, you throw a pick, like if he throws a pick or whatever in that game, then if Matthew Stafford throws a pick, then you could end up a shorter field for the Cowboys offense, and then Cowboys score on that drive. I just think until the Rams become less one-dimensional, they have to, with the 49ers, it's a very similar situation. You have to include somebody else other than Cooper Kupp. I mean, this guy, last game he was targeted 19. The game before, I think it was 14, 15 times. This guy is their offense. I think the Cowboys are going to deal with him. I'm going to go Cowboys. Let me know what you guys think on that one. I want to see a tie between Dallas and LA. That's funny. I got the Cowboys. Rams are banged up. Yeah, they are, man. And I mean, Allen Robinson's been a disappointment. I think they will get Odell Beckham back when he passes a physical, but man, until then, wow, yeah. And the thing is they're struggling early too, the Rams, because last year, yes, they did struggle, but if you guys don't remember, the Rams did start off 3-0. They struggled mid-season. The Rams are struggling early season, so they're struggling. I don't know. Yeah, I think Matthew Stafford I don't know what's wrong with him. And I think they're going to get to him and they're going to win. We have 3 more picks left. So Philadelphia Eagles versus Arizona Cardinals. The Eagles defense has literally been so freaking good at getting takeaways. Ben, what is that stat that Cup gets a lot of catches, but fantasy-wise, he does not put much points? I mean, he has been doing pretty good at fantasy. Let me look at his stats real quick on fantasy. I don't have him in any leagues. Well, okay, if you can look at his targets. I'll pull up his target share right now. He had 14 catches last game, but he had 19 targets, and that's crazy. I think he had like 19 out of the 30. Like he had basically half of the Rams. He was the Rams offense against the 49ers. But hold on, I can look for Cooper Kupp real quick. Let me look him up. Cooper Kupp. Cooper. Okay. So I'll quickly look. I mean, in a standard fantasy league, he's been doing first week against the Bills, 31 points. Second week against the Falcons, 31 points. Third week against Arizona, 16 points. And last week against San Francisco, 26. So he has been doing pretty good. Kupp has caught a league high 18 plus receptions over expected since 2021. Hold on. No. This is not what I'm looking for. Leads the NFL in production on open targets. Okay, I'm trying to look for his target share though. 19 targets against the Rams. Okay, a little less. 6 targets against the Cardinals. Let's look at the other game. 14 targets against the Lions. So, yes, he is getting a lot of targets. Are you 970 area code? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Fantasy points depends on league settings. That's true, but my league that I was playing in is standard. So, standard, I think he is still doing pretty good. Ben going with the Cards. This is a trap game for the Eagles. Yeah, let's move on. Ben going for the Cards. This is a trap game for the Eagles. Eagles got to win that Cowboys game to assert dominance in the NFC East. That's good. I kind of tend to agree with you there. I just think the Eagles have been too good, too dominant. I mean, the Cardinals, let's see. Who did the Cardinals play last week? It's escaping me, and I know who they played, but Panthers. Lost to the Rams, beat the Panthers, beat the Raiders. They really haven't won that many too hard games. And they were behind against the Raiders as well. I just think the Eagles are too hot. I think the Eagles are riding high. I'm going to go Eagles. That's too risky of a pick to make. And then we have 2 more picks left. Let's see the comments a little bit more. This is a fun little Q&A. 970 live from a studio in Colorado. Yes. I'm in the 970 area code 2. Summit County checking in. Summit County. I need to look that up. By the way, I've never actually seen you, Paulu. So salute to you. Thank you for joining. And if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. We have guests once or twice a week. Last week we had twice a week. It really depends. And I'll be going once or twice live once or twice a week. And then during the week, I'll be posting clips from the live videos that I have with guests and then shorts as well. If the Cardinals win, it could be a starting point for their team. Yeah, it could be. And again, they get DeAndre Hopkins back in what? Okay, so this is week 5. He's out for week 6 as well. They get him back week 7. And then let's see. So they have a game tomorrow and then October 16th. They don't have a bye till, I believe. Do they not have a bye till? Let's see. Yeah, they don't have I don't think they have a bye till like week 1. The Cardinals don't have a bye till week, so this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think they have a bye at week 13. That's brutal. I agree. Eagles been too good. If the game is close, the Cards are way better second half team. True. The Eagles definitely, they have some things to work on. They definitely, they're good at getting takeaways. But against the Jaguars, they definitely scared. Like in the first half, they were not very good against the Jaguars. Welcome, Paulu. I'm from 970 2 right across the street, JK. Yeah, yeah. Sure. I found you on Grant Cohn's show. Interesting. I haven't been on there for a while. I need to get him on as a guest, but he's a little too busy right now, I think. He seems busy. I need to ask, though. Let's get to the next game. This is a perfect segue. Going with the Bengals against the Ravens. No, I'm going with the Ravens. I disagree. I think Lamar Jackson hold on. Lamar Jackson, they were able to keep up with the Buffalo Bills. That was crazy. 20-3. That was a good game, and then they just let up 20 unanswered. I think, well, the only thing that makes me question my decision with going with the Ravens here, and this is why I think maybe I could be wrong, is the Ravens defense is terrible. They have like one of the worst pass defense, like one of the worst cornerback group. Like right now, they're allowing one of the most yards in receiving as a defense. So I could see this being a very high scoring game. I definitely think it's going to be a high scoring game. But Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson, if they can get back to what they were in week 3, then this team is going to be really good. And this is, I believe, this is for the division. So hard fought. It's whoever makes a stop first, really, because the Ravens defense hasn't been great. They were good against the Bills in the first half, and then they just absolutely collapsed. I'm going to go Ravens, though. I don't know. Maybe I should break that down a little bit more. Hold on. So let me see what the Bengals have done, because that is you propose a very good argument, Grandizer, with your decision here. And let's look up the Ravens real quick. It's hard covering all 32 teams. I check the scores, I watch highlights, but it's like really what I really focus on is NFC West. And then I'll do like if I have a show and I have topics from around the NFL, I'll get prepared and look up stats for those teams. But I don't really cover all 32 teams. Like you'd have to be on 24/7 to do that. Ravens, yeah, he agrees with me. Agree, Ben. However, Ravens, they had that game versus the Bills. They gave that away. They did. They choked that for sure. Okay, so what have the Bengals done? Nice little keep the comments coming. Nice little Q&A. Beat the Dolphins, but that was, it was close when Tua went out. It really was. I feel bad for Tua, man. Body slam. Like that play with the Bengals was an absolute body slam when he went out. They beat the Jets, lost to the Cowboys, obviously lost to the Steelers. Really, their 2 wins, Jets, with I think Joe Flacco, and then Dolphins without Tua for like a fourth quarter. Yeah, I'm gonna say Ravens there. I feel like the Bengals are slightly underperforming as well. Both the Bengals and the Rams have a Super Bowl hangover. Okay, so let's get to the Raiders. If you guys have any other thoughts, let me know. But let's get to the Raiders versus the Chiefs. This is our last game. I believe this is Monday night. Yes, this is Monday. Well, hold on. Monday night. Yeah, this is. Let's see. So, okay, real quick back to the Cincinnati. So, a lot of people are actually agreeing with me with Baltimore Ravens there. So, Raiders versus Chiefs. After what the Chiefs did to a decent Buccaneers team, the Raiders could be good this season. They have talent, but they really frankly beat I think a weak Broncos team. So I'm going to go probably Chiefs here. Bengals have not been impressive wins. That win against the Dolphins might have got them on track. Yeah, could have. We'll see. I still like the Ravens in this one, though. I still think, that defense is really underperformed because they do have like a decent defense and they just haven't been good. KC, Raiders, all that talent and struggling. Yeah. Now, I think the KC actually hasn't done bad, and I thought they would actually kind of struggle, and there are some weaknesses on that team. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. They did really freaking good against the Buccaneers. Yeah, I'm going KC here. So basically, I picked a lot of times the teams that a lot of people were picking, but I did have a few upsets as well. I had the Cowboys, which apparently is an upset. I don't think that is. I had the let's see what else. I had the Jets upsetting the Dolphins. I didn't have New Orleans losing to the Seahawks. I think I might be wrong on that one, but I'm going to stick to it. I had Detroit upsetting. Well, I don't know if that's an upset against New England. And then I had Chicago upsetting Minnesota. And then yeah, so those I had like two upsets. KC, but I wanted to be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders win. Yeah, I mean division could go either way. Raiders just got their, I believe, first win, right? Against the Broncos last week. Let me see. Are they 1-3? Yeah, they're 1-3. First win against the Broncos. Could have some momentum going into this game. Again, they kind of like the Raiders kind of have to make the playoffs, because if they don't, like, what happens to Josh McDaniels, man? That'll be like the second time coaching that, like, he had it 10 years ago with the Broncos where he messed up. And if I think there's a lot of pressure on this Raiders team this year. However, Raiders do have one of the best Monday Night Football win histories. Really? If you could pull up a stat, that would be interesting. Win records, he means. Ben, is the Broncos versus Colts Thursday night game even worth talking about? I can't stand Thursday night games. Never did like them. I used to really like Thursday night games because your team, like, as a fan, they get a lot of people injured and it's not great. But as a fan, when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, my team now Sunday night, and now they're playing again on Thursday. That's great. But now as I get older, I'm kind of leaning towards no Thursday night games either, because it's like, I mean, you have 4 days. Like, so I did a show a week ago with, what's his name? Oh my gosh, Michael Davis. Go check that out. That guy is so smart. Go subscribe to his channel. I believe it's Drop the Mic Wrestling Podcast. He's a small channel, so be one of the first to go subscribe there. Really cool. So go back to the show I did with Michael Davis, though. And he basically said, I think he gets a lot of people injured. I really do. And I kind of tend to agree with him. You know, I just think, like, yes. Now the thing is Amazon Prime just bought it, so I highly doubt it going away. Maybe it goes away next year, but I mean, I think business-wise, I think Amazon Prime wants it to stay open. They just bought it. They bought the streaming rights. I don't think it's going to go away, but everyone wants it to. Let's see. Belichick tree, just say no. Yes. I don't like Thursday night games. Yeah, I don't really either. I agree with you there. Oh my gosh, why am I stuttering? I agree with you there, Bryant Culp. So everyone, this has been a lot of fun. We just did these game picks. Got a nice little Q&A session going there. Got some nice comments. So thank you everyone for watching. I'll be back probably next Wednesday with my brother to talk NFL, maybe a little bit of fantasy. We're big fantasy, how do you say it? We play a lot of fantasy. He isn't doing that great. I'm doing really good in my leagues this year, so I can't complain. The reason why I love the Ravens so much is because I have Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews in one of my leagues, and they, except from last week, I mean, they're just absolutely cracked this year. Great show. Thank you. Anyways, guys, I'll be back Wednesday night and then possibly Saturday, but it's iffy. Like, Saturday could happen, might not. I mean, I don't know. So, but we can do this again Saturday if you guys want to. But we'll see what I have going on, and if I can't do it Wednesday, like, so look for me look for me Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if I'm not going live on Wednesday, if I can't go live on Wednesdays, I'm most likely going live on Saturdays, vice versa. So look for me there. look for me those 2 days or Tuesdays. Tuesdays, I might go live once in a while that day. Ben, good luck to your 49ers tomorrow. Will you get up early to watch the London game? I actually have to get up early. Yeah, maybe, but I have to get up early. So we actually raise meat chickens for food. It's pretty cool, but I have to get up early to butcher them tomorrow. So that's going to be a great day. So yeah, I probably will be getting up early anyways. Maybe I'll take a look at it. I don't think it's going to be a very good game though. I don't know. I'm not really interested. I'm interested in Green Bay, but Giants, really? Like, who would have thought they would be 3-1? I think that's I think the Giants are like one of the biggest outlier teams this year. Like last year you had the Broncos 3-0 and Panthers 3-0. But you look at who the Giants have played this year, really hasn't been great. I just don't think the Giants are that good. I think they're an outlier team. Have a good week. Till Wednesday. See you on the flip side. My uncle is in London. He is going to the game. Oh, cool. What about Friday nights, 8 p.m.? Friday nights are bad. I like to spend it with family. I come back from practice and then yeah, Friday nights are pretty bad. But if you're referring to the Panthers Nation podcast, then yes, I will try to hop on. Ben, 3 overrated teams, 3 underrated teams. I guess you could call the Giants underrated. I don't even know. The Giants, I mean, overrated. Sorry. I think a lot of people still think highly of the Rams. So I'm going to say the Rams are overrated. Still. Underrated, I think Cowboys. I think when they get Dak Prescott back, that's going to be good. That should be good. So underrated, we've got Rams, we've got Giants. And then let's see who else. I think the Dolphins could honestly fall off, maybe. I mean, we'll see, but that could be another team. And I mean the Seahawks are 2-2 too, so they could fall off for sure. I just don't. Yeah, maybe Seahawks as well. And then underrated teams, Jaguars, gotta go with them. Let's see who else. I'm just trying to look at a list. Jaguars, Dallas Cowboys, and then I think to win the Super Bowl, a very underrated team is the Baltimore Ravens. I really do think that if they can just get that defense together, that team is elite. Oh no, not referring to Panthers Nation podcast. Sorry, I could not get you on their stream. They got that show taped. Yeah. That's okay. I did post your link so I don't know if that helped. Yeah, man, whatever. You guys are not obligated, but yes, thank you so much. You're a great guy, Grandizer. So keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for all the support. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys later. This has been a lot of fun. We got quite a bit of interaction. We did get quite a bit of people in here. Obviously, that's not what I stream for. I just like doing it. But this was a lot of fun, just talking football with you guys, casually doing it, I do like doing this, hanging out. And we went for an hour Q&A / so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday, guys. See you guys later. And thank you to all the support in the chat. So see ya.